Evening, Miss. Today we would like to present our presentation, our group presentation on teaching of language arts. So we will be assessing a textbook or critically evaluating a language art text. Our group members are Miss Orlando Morris and myself, Olivia Lacan. Here is an outline of our presentation where we're going to have our introduction, text analysis, critical evaluation, changes we have selected along with justification and conclusion. So let's begin. So in language arts, we've learned how stories, poems, and books tend to help us to understand better. Today, we'll take a closer look at the textbook, The Process of Language Arts. Now, this textbook is mostly used in the grade 3 level. It is a comprehensive textbook designed for primary school students specifically. The book is part of a well-established series by Vidya Maharaj and is known for its clear explanation and practical exercise that support both teachers and learners. As stated, the book has many, or I should say, it's composed of many grammar exercises, vocabulary, spelling, and composition, allowing comprehension exercise for students to learn or and work on. Approach of the language arts text. Now, this textbook is organized into multiple chapters, and each is focusing on a key aspect of the language art, which would be grammar, comprehension, poetry, and writing skills. Each unit is detailed with one particular element, and it helps with a skill by skill methodology. Each chapter includes clear explanation, definitions, and rules and concepts. There are also practice exercises for students to use to help further their skills and activities to encourage in more reading, writing, and critical thinking. From the text, we have our language skills, which is the reading comprehension. The passage or the book is equipped with different comprehension passages with very simple and easy questions for the kids to follow and identify. There's grammar awareness, where we have the use of nouns, defining and identifying nouns, not just nouns, but verbs, adjectives, pronouns, etc. The books we have spelling and vocabulary. There's writing readiness, visual literacy, thinking, reasoning. The comprehension passages helps them in understanding and making sense of what is being read to them or read to them. Hence, the reason why we started this book, as it not only supports the reading or grammar, but it also assists in the language and literacy skills. So evaluation, this is the strength of the textbook. Now, this textbook, it aligns with the Collinsworth 1995 four criteria for evaluating educational materials, as this fulfills the learner's educational needs. It also helps them to use the language effectively for personal objectives, and it considers the learner's requirements to ease the learning process. As stated, this textbook helps the pupils to identify, to know what is a verb, what are nouns, what are adjectives, etc. As it states here, they learn more about subject and predicates on page 36, the use of punctuations, and also sentence structures. The good thing about the book also is that it emphasizes scaffolding skills, which we also know that it helps them to continuous build on the previous knowledge. In terms of teaching, the rules are explained in simple language, which makes it very easy for the learners to understand, or even parents at home who may be help assisting the children with the exercises or the topics being done in the classroom. Now, the book also uses a step-by-step process, which, as we know, will help build up fundamental skills in the language arts. There are emphasis being placed on understanding and not just the memorization with the exercises, really, that helps to reinforce learning through application. There is also a text, or I should say a link, a book that has answer sheets that would be beneficial also for the teacher, especially for someone who is now in training and is not sure of all the answers from this textbook. That book can also provide or assist that teacher in getting the correct answers to help the students. The weaknesses of the textbook is that most exercise activities are just filling the blanks, rewriting, or underlining. There are limited or no communicative tasks such as extended writing, oral discussions, or even role play for the kids. Now, without any open-ended writing tasks, this limits their chance to apply the skills in the genuine language context. So, for example, on page 139, there is a comprehension passage on continents. And the follow-up questions are very easy and simple. I should say the answers are very easy to point out in the comprehension passage used there. Now, with that, it is very weak in terms of having the kids trying to read between the line, as we would say, to understand autographs and get the answer for each question being asked. Evaluation criteria. Now, inaccuracy in getting the right response. At this level, the evaluation is based on correct spelling from the kids, punctuation, capitalization, and sentence structure. Now, all of these are best used in terms of writing a composition or even essays. Some changes that can happen or to improve the weakness in this textbook. Now, in the textbook, we do have some activities or exercises that don't address all the levels for each learner. So to address this, the book should at least include more fill in the blanks and creative writing or some sentence expansions. Also, if added some oral language activity. We all know these can help, especially the slower learners in order to better understand each task. Justification, maybe while the textbook do include some writing practice, it often limits the opportunities for speaking and cooperative learning practice among the students. According to Vygotsky, learners tend to improve when the instructions are slightly above their level. So instead of just having them underline or circle, maybe we can have them um, rewrite, or better yet, role play each answer they might find, for example, in verbs. Not just writing or online the verb, they can act out or role play the verbs they found. Enhancing the overall effectiveness of the language arts at teaching. And the first point says that this encourages the active participation of and peer interaction. As I was said before, role play it can help out a lot in this part. In this, the learners can develop listening and speaking skills alongside writing. Supports inclusive and learners centered instruction. These are more beneficial in terms for the not yet there kids, addressing the needs of a specific group of learners. This will be more for the not yet there. It will help them to participate in the oral language activity instead of just having to write. So, as we may have some slow writers or some kids in the grade 3 level that are still having a hard time in holding their pencil. So the oral language or the oral participation and role play will benefit them in understanding each exercise being taught. Change would be to incorporate the contextual reading and writing activities into the existing lessons. Textbooks have exercises across the units, which focuses mostly on the grammar lessons. Now, to improve these lessons, they can include contextual reading passage along with the comprehension questions and some writing tasks, which helps focus on the grammatical concepts being taught. Justification. Throughout this case study, it is known that the language learning is more beneficial when learners can connect words to meaning. While the book do develop the grammar skills, it doesn't promote the opportunities for learners to apply these skills in the real life context. Enhancing the overall effectiveness of the language arts teaching. Integration of the language subjects is promoted. This can strengthen the comprehension skills and it ensures a deeper understanding of each concept, addressing the needs of a specific group of learners. Now, this change it benefits the struggling reader, sorry, and the linguistics learners. Conclusion. Now, the process of learning language arts at level 2 by Vidya Maharaj is an essential resource for the building strong language skills in the young learners. Its approach, practical exercises, and alignment with education standards make it a valuable tool for both the teachers and students. The printed answer key of this book helps teachers quickly evaluate the activities. This textbook also helps to develop a clear understanding of the expected standards. Here we have our reference. So thank you for listening to our presentation.